This is the news on NTA International. I'm Nancy Godi Angunihu, and on sign language is Courage Ogeriahi. We start with the headlines. Nigeria kickstarts activities to mark 64th independence anniversary. $10 billion investment in Nigeria's deep water oil operations in view. Plus, Japanese court acquits world's longest serving prisoner on death row. And now the news in full. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has acknowledged the 25 years of unbroken democracy in Nigeria as a testament to the will of the people to attain and sustain freedom and liberty for posterity. As the nation celebrates the 64th independence anniversary, the government image maker called on Nigerians to sustain the spirit of resilience as the government intensifies efforts to cushion numerous and daunting challenges. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
As the host and chairman subcommittee on media and publicity of the 64th independence anniversary, Mohammed Idris set the tone with a reflection on activities of the government.
Despite global economic headwinds and the transitional pains accompanying some of the reforms, the president has remained focused in his efforts towards reviving our economy and returning the country to the path of prosperity and sustained growth. Undoubtedly, one of the significant setbacks to rural socio-economic development in Nigeria has been the absence of direct fiscal control by elected local government administration. In a landmark move, President Tinubu has taken a decisive step toward implementing local government autonomy by seeking a verdict from the Supreme Court. The young people of Nigeria now have a clearer path to sustainable tertiary education through the student loan. Complementing this is the new Consumer Credit Corporation established to guarantee access to low-cost and flexible consumer credit.
He is confident that Nigeria at 64, the Tinubu administration's 8-point agenda being implemented, has proven to be the needed antidote to decades of development challenges.
A lot of work is ongoing towards ensuring macroeconomic stability, stabilizing the foreign exchange regime, reforming the tax system to make it more efficient and less burdensome on Nigerians, repositioning our oil and gas sector to attract new investment, and prioritizing the diversification and expansion of government revenues. Following the removal of the petroleum subsidy, President Tinubu is gradually guiding Nigeria into an unprecedented energy transition phase. The ongoing rollout of the CNG and associated infrastructure is reducing transportation costs for Nigerians up to 60%, creating jobs and attracting tens of millions of dollars in local and foreign investment.
Worthy of note, he mentioned are transformative strategies on security and the relaunch of National Values Charter designed to meet up with the contemporary needs of Nigeria and close the gap of the nation's lost prosperity. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
INEC has presented certificate of return to the governor-elect of Edo State, Monday Okpebolo, at its national headquarters in Abuja. INEC National Commissioner Professor Rhoda Gumus also presented certificate of return to the deputy governor-elect Dennis Idahosa.
I feel very happy because Edo people have spoken, and now for me to go and do the work for them. That is what they elected me to do, and that is what I'm going to do.
You know, we now have a governor who will respect our traditional institution, which is the heart of our culture. For me, this is what excites Edo people.
We have recovered our state. So we are so happy, especially that our governor-elect is an experienced a politician, a distinguished senator who has a blueprint for the development of Edo State, and we assure you, you will see great changes.
With the presentation, the governor-elect and the deputy will be sworn in November this year. And President Bola Tinubu has promised to work with the governor-elect of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo, to deliver good benefits of democracy to the people of the state. The president made the commitment as he received the governor-elect at the State House. President Tinubu commended the key players in the election, including INEC and security agencies, for delivering a peaceful election in the state. We move on to the U.S. Vice President Kashim Shettima has welcomed ExxonMobil's proposed $10 billion investment in Nigeria's deep water oil operations, describing it as a clear testament to the administration's economic reforms and investment-friendly policies. This is coming during a high-level meeting with ExxonMobil executives on the sidelines of the ongoing 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
This potential investment aligns with the Tinubu administration's vision for a more investment-friendly Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima explains President Tinubu administration's effort in ensuring ease of doing business in Nigeria, highlighting recent policy changes to unify the exchange rate, remove fuel subsidy, and implement tax reforms. Addressing the specific concerns of the oil and gas sector, the Vice President said the goal is to strike a balance between attracting investment and ensuring fair returns for the Nigerian people. Chairman and Managing Director of ExxonMobil affiliates in Nigeria, Shane Harris, reaffirmed the company's commitment to investing in Nigeria. The centerpiece of ExxonMobil's new strategy is the Owo project, a substantial subsea tieback that could represent a $10 billion investment. Meanwhile, the international maritime giant DP World has announced plans to develop a multi-billion-dollar port project in Nigeria. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the group chairman, revealed the company's intention during a courtesy visit to Vice President Kashim Shettima on the sidelines of the ongoing United Nations General Assembly in New York. The proposal comes as a direct response to President Tinubu's drive and effort to improve the ease of doing business in the country. The DP World chief expressed confidence in the Nigerian economy, citing the country's vast import and export market as a key factor in their decision to invest. Vice President Kashim Shettima said the proposal is a testament and commitment to attracting foreign investments to Nigeria. He assured the investors of the government's full support and the administration's dedication to facilitating foreign investment and economic growth. From New York, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Now, the Republic of Niger's ancient city of Agadez is facing great threat from flooding, and parts of our region in southern France are experiencing a devastating rainy season, leading to severe damage, while wine growing is being affected in other parts owing to drought. Kelly Mohammed tells us more.
Heavy rains in the arid nation of Niger have seen parts of the UNESCO World Heritage Site suffer severe damage, with ceilings and walls of houses no longer holding. Help is urgently needed, says Abu Said Ahmed, the chief of the city's Akamfaya neighborhood. Residents say houses are weak, no longer firm, and walls give way even while people are asleep. Reports say this has been the case in several places, as families have had houses collapse on them while sleeping. In the same vein, climate change has taken a toll on the means of livelihoods, as wine growing is beginning to disappear in southern France, chiefly due to drought. Nicolas Caston, a wine grower in southern France, where the harvest has been catastrophic, said this year the already meager harvest, unloaded by tractors in front of large vats in the cellar, indicate a loss of 70%. Experts worldwide have asserted further devastation, as staple foods, especially in Africa, are under serious threat of disappearance as soon as a decade from now, if nothing drastic is done to mitigate the climate change crisis staring the globe in the face. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
And on the judiciary front, the world's longest-serving death row prisoner, Hakamada, was acquitted on Thursday owing to ill health and could not appear in court to hear the ruling of his acquittal. Again, Kolo Mohammed reports.
Hakamada's acquittal came more than half a century after his mother's conviction, when a Japanese court ruled that evidence had been fabricated. Ailing health prevented the 88-year-old former boxer Iwao Kamada from being in court to listen to the outcome of his retrial, which was granted a decade ago after a long campaign by supporters. His 91-year-old sister Hideko, who often spoke for him, bowed deeply to the judge who declared Hakamada innocent. She said, and I quote, "Everyone, we want the acquittal. It's all thanks to your support." End of quote. Hakamada spent 46 years on death row after being convicted in 1968 of robbing and killing his boss, the man's wife, and their 2 teenage children. Thursday's ruling said investigators tampered with clothes by getting blood on them, which they hid in a tank of fermented soybean paste. The prosecutor's records were obtained by effectively infringing on the defendant's right to remain silent, under circumstances extremely likely to elicit a false confession, the ruling said. Summarily, Hakamada was acquitted and set free. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
The federal government of Nigeria is reviewing the guidelines for the issuance of Attorney General of the Federation's Authority for Incorporation of Companies Limited by Guarantee to ensure effective and efficient adherence to the various provisions of Section 26 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Chukwunonsonwa Bueze reports that the initiative is aimed at addressing the challenges.
The guidelines for the issuance of the Attorney General of the Federation's Authority for the Incorporation of Companies Limited by Guarantee is to achieve consistency in the processing of applications for the mandatory authority, save time, as well as give advance notice of requirements to all stakeholders. This sensitization workshop by the Federal Ministry of Justice, therefore, is to examine prospects, challenges, as well as gaps arising from the implementation of the guidelines.
That the Attorney General has shown immense concern, and the Solicitor General, they have shown concern that the Companies Limited by Guarantee, the guidelines we issued 2 years ago, and we have operated. They said, look, we have operated this for like 2 years. You need to get back to the public and let's know what they are thinking about these guidelines.
This guideline is one of those key points that we could refer to that could make it transparent, could make it open, and we could all predetermine what the process is and what the outcome could be.
And also guidelines sometimes need to be reviewed like this so that you hear the feedback from your customers, from those who are the stakeholders.
The participants, among other recommendations, advocate more synergy between the Federal Ministry of Justice and relevant key players to ensure proper filing of memoranda and articles of association by various promoters. Chukwunonsonwa Bueze, NTA News.
Investigators in Nigeria's justice system have been tasked with the need to enhance their skills in the area of witness protection and support schemes to have efficient prosecution of criminal trials. This was the submission of the outgoing Director General of the Nigeria Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, Professor Mohammed Taufik Ladan, at a leadership course in criminal law and civil justice at the Force headquarters in Abuja. Austin and Ejibe of Judiciary Desk reports.
Legal experts observe that it is difficult to win a criminal trial with only material evidence without witness testimony, but the challenge prosecutors face in court is how to get witnesses to court to give evidence. This is because witnesses who should come to court to give evidence in any criminal or political matter are often afraid as a result of threats they are likely to face from the accused or their relations or intimidation from powerful criminal gangs in a society. This explains the imperative for the protection of witnesses and the need to support them in order to build trust and boost their confidence, which Professor Mohammed Tofik Ladan in his presentation anchored on constitutional provisions. He advocates programs to be put in place to cater for witness protection and support before criminal trial, during and after trials.
In terrorism financing, in terrorism cases, in money laundering cases, in drug and human trafficking cases. These are complex organized criminal activities that, the suspects or the accused persons sometimes, they wield greater power both in politics and in bureaucracy, and also in outside even government than some governments, themselves. So these are not the kind of groups that any witness or group of witnesses can withstand. So that's why witnesses need trust of the system. They need confidence to be boosted to be able to take the risk to appear, and they also need the support needed.
The training is being attended by personnel from the EFCC, ICPC, NAPTIP, Immigration, the Police, Army, INEC, and NIA. In Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
And let's take a break on the news. Thank you for staying with us. Advocacy for unity and collectivism in the fight against corruption in Nigeria is underway. The Vanguard for Credible Representation canvasses this position while taking a look at the corruption index and the prosecution of corrupt practices in the country. Dele Atumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
Graft is identified as the bane of development in most of the developing countries as a result of capital flights. This act has taken its toll on all sectors, leading to epileptic services and medical tourism. This has equally impacted negatively on infrastructural development. It is in the light of this that Vanguard for Credible Representation is canvassing the need for all and sundry to support all efforts towards combating corruption and promoting a prosperous Nigeria. The group appeals to all the anti-graft agencies in Nigeria to continue to fight against the act. It canvasses a position that combating corruption is shared responsibility of the people and government.
While we commend the EFCC's recent successes, we urge other anti-corruption and security agencies to join forces in this battle and also called upon the EFCC to continue to fight on, be resolute in its commitment to protecting whistleblowers and encouraging reporting, collaborating with local and international partners to recover stolen assets and educating the general public on corruption's devastating consequences.
The group frowns at the situation whereby those that enjoy immunity under Section 308 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, are abusing the privilege being enjoyed by them to shield alleged politically exposed persons being tried for corruption. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Nigeria's House of Representatives is set to investigate issues around petroleum marketing and pricing in the country to make the product more accessible and affordable for Nigerians. Following a motion of urgent public importance by Representative Oboku Oforji, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas referred the matter to a joint ad hoc committee to be constituted by the leadership of the National Assembly.
The House further note that in view of the high demand by millions of Nigerians for PMX and the ordeal they go through to get it, the NNPCL should allow independent marketers to lift the product from the Dangote refinery.
We should put our confidence on the joint committee, let them do a holistic job and report back to us. And one of the terms of the reference is to look into this same thing you are talking about.
National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Iben reports that the House also passed resolutions seeking the reconstruction of dilapidated highways and bridges and parts of the country.
As a national disaster, urge the Federal Ministry of Works to immediately commence reconstruction of the collapse of the bridges to ease hardship being faced by the road users.
Urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, FEMA, to immediately commence repairs on the Asaba-Onitsha Express Road and the East-West Road in Delta State immediately.
Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Roads, Emergency Maintenance Agency, FEMA, and the Ecological Fund Office to urgently fund the construction of a new route that will link affected communities to each state across Nigeria.
Public Complaints Commission says it has evolved renewed strategic processes of serving Nigerians whose rights and privileges may be infringed upon by government ministries, agencies and parastatals, as well as private organizations, to give hope to hopeless citizens. The Commission's new Chief Commissioner, Bashir Abubakar, stated this at a plenary session with appointed commissioners representing states of the Federation. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
The primary function of the Public Complaints Commission is to provide impartial investigation on behalf of complainants who feel aggrieved by the action or inaction of government ministries, agencies or parastatals, as well as private organizations to get justice for the oppressed. This plenary session with the 37 federal commissioners representing 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is to deliberate on the effective execution of its mandate, which provides cover and justice to less privileged Nigerians whose rights may be infringed in one way or another. The Chief Commissioner told his colleagues that they must do everything within their power to protect the rights and privileges of the citizenry in their various states of assignment.
As the leaders of this commission and as principal, do's and don'ts must be adhered to.
The Public Complaints Commission is the Nigerian Ombudsman institution was set up to redress complaints lodged by the aggrieved citizens against administrative injustice.
Some of the commissioners expressed willingness to work with both state and federal institutions in the state under their jurisdiction to create more awareness on the workings of the commission. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Public relations professionals can navigate the changing tides of communication through commitment to high ethical standards while maintaining the trust and confidence of the public. These were the takeaways at the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations FCT chapter monthly meeting with the theme Ethical Imperatives of Corporate Public Relations. Hamman Jabani was there.
The practice of public relations is believed to be fundamentally about building and managing relationships between organizations and the public. At the core of these relationships lies the principle of ethics, serving as the foundation on which trust and credibility are built. Seasoned public relations professionals at this meeting for the month of September say, without commitment to ethical practice, the essential bond of trust between an organization and its stakeholders can easily be eroded. This is why this monthly meeting of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations FCT chapter highlights the need to uphold ethical standards in the industry. Stressing some of the models, Moses George Duku says, as the industry evolves and new challenges emerge, particularly in the digital space, adhering to ethical principles remain an imperative for PR professionals.
Once you are able to align yourself with the larger public good, you are a very functional, helpful, progressive, productive, peaceful member of that society. You need the society to function. The society needs your services.
A two-way scientific communications that is all-encompassing, involving external publics and internal publics for a mutually beneficial arrangement.
President and Chairman of Council, NIPR, Dr. Ike Nielaku, commended the FCT chapter for the initiative while emphasizing the importance of developing PR practice at the grassroots.
That's why we established the Young Professionals Hall, because we know that if you don't make a conscious effort to build a credible successor generation. In anything you are doing, you will have a challenge.
The meeting received updates from Project and Partnership, the Annual General Meeting, and Corporate Social Responsibility and Sustainability Committees, and unveiled the CSR and S policy for the chapter. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
And next is Friday's weather forecast. That's the end of the news. On behalf of Courage Ogeria, who's been on sign language, this is Nancy Godiangunihu thanking you.